Hi. Today's assignment is all about understanding what a species is and how a new species can evolve. Sometimes it's easy to tell when two organisms are different species. If you look at these three pictures, it's pretty clear that the cats and the platypus are not members of the same species. Just by looking at them, we can tell they're very different. However, sometimes it's harder. Did you think the two cats were members of the same species? They're not. The cat on the left is a jaguar found in South America, and the cat on the right is a leopard found in Africa. While they look very similar, they're not members of the same species. So if looks isn't how we determine a species, what defines a species? In your Chapter 17 review, you came across the fact that there are multiple definitions of species. However, for the purposes of this assignment, as well as in general, we're going to use the most common and popular definition, which is called the biological species definition. And this can be stated as a group of organisms that have the potential to interbreed in the wild and produce fertile young. Now there's a couple really important phrases in there, and I've highlighted them in different colors. Let's run through them one at a time. A group. Species refer to a group, not an individual. An individual is a member of a group that is called a species. The potential to interbreed. Species are defined by their ability to breed with each other. So interbreeding is key to what makes it a species. In the wild. I only care about what goes on in the wild when I'm defining a species. I don't care what happens in zoos or in laboratories. For example, in a zoo, you can put a lion and a tiger together. They can interbreed and produce what's called a liger. This doesn't happen in the wild, so biologists will still consider these two different species. And finally, they need to be able to produce fertile young. That means their babies have to be able to have babies. A horse and a donkey are able to interbreed, and they're able to produce babies. However, that baby is called a mule, and it is sterile. So horses and donkeys still are members of separate species. Today's goal is for you to understand two things. First, the process of speciation. How does a new species form? While some ways are more common than others, there are different ways species can arise. And then secondly, you need to understand reproductive isolation. Species are defined as being reproductively isolated from each other. How does this actually occur? There are multiple ways. And why is it important, the process of speciation, the formation of a new species? Now it's time for you to get started on the activity. Good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.